Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be doing a how-to video using Farmasi's Glam Up Eyeshadow Palette. I really love this palette, a lot of great colors, several neutrals, so definitely versatile. Today's look is more of a daytime look. I'll probably do another video or two after this one showing you maybe like a nighttime look and a couple of different ways you can use this palette. Before we begin, I kind of have to apologize for my gravelly voice. My allergies are definitely kicking my butt this year. So between everything blooming and my two calicos losing their winter coats to no end, it appears, I now sound like this. So just go with me, bear with me. I'm really sorry that I sound like I do, but here we are. So let's jump in and talk about the Glam Up eyeshadow palette. So let me just show you these colors. So like I said, a lot of great kind of neutrals, as you can see, several kind of shimmery, shiny colors that you can definitely make a really great going out look. So yeah, I really love it. I love that these colors can really work for any skin tone because they're a bit more neutral. They can kind of work for everybody, which I love. Now, anytime I go to do my eyes, there's a couple of things I have on hand, the first of which is just a piece of paper towel so that you can clean off your brushes in between colors. It's really crucial that you do that. If you don't, any residual color from the previous color that you used will find its way to the new area that you're working on, and everything will just get a little muddled, and you won't have clear, distinct colors on your look. The other thing I have on hand is some Q-tips. If you have a super steady hand, maybe you don't need Q-tips. I always have a few on hand just in case I make a little bit of a mistake. Maybe I'm in a rush and I'm not taking my time like I should. So I just always have a few Q-tips on hand. Usually I need it for my mascara because, as you can see, my eyelashes, I don't know if you can see that really well, but my eyelashes are a bit longer. So usually I get a little bit on the bottom or up here in the crease area. So let me just kind of show you the look that we're going to be doing today. I don't know how well you can see the distinct colors, but I really love this look. Like I said, I think this works really well for daytime, for going to work. So let's hop in. I've already put eyeshadow primer on this eye. Anytime you're using a powder eyeshadow, it's really important to use primer. There's a few different reasons for this. And mostly it's because the primer kind of grabs onto the eyeshadow. It gives something for the eyeshadow to hold onto, which means that with a primer, you won't have to use as much to get the same kind of vibrant, pigmented look that you're probably wanting. And because of that, because you won't have to do as many applications, you don't run the risk of over blending your colors. So without a primer, a lot of times you have to apply more on, so it takes more. Plus, like I said, you run the risk of over blending. And so always use an eyeshadow primer with powder eyeshadows. You don't necessarily need to use primer with more liquid or creamy eyeshadows, but I always recommend it with the powder. So there's a few different brushes I'm going to be using today. I'm going to start with a Crease brush. So as you can see, it's a little bit fluffy, but it kind of comes to a point. So that kind of helps you get into your crease. Now, because my crease is a little bit more inset, I'll show you here in a minute, I like to go a little bit higher with my crease color because if I don't, when I'm just looking, it kind of gets lost. So I'm gonna start in my crease with the buff color, which is this color right here. It's sort of a brown. I definitely feel like it has a little bit of a yellow undertone. And so I'm just gonna get a little bit on my brush, and then I'm just gonna go into my crease here. I always start in the middle and work my way out. I do that just because it's kind of easier to hide maybe additional buildup in the middle of your crease versus the outside or the inside. So I always start in the middle and then kind of like work my way out. So here we go, and then I just kind of look at it. I'm gonna add a bit more, like I said, just a little bit higher from my crease just so that you can see that color. I don't wanna go too high because I am gonna be adding another color onto this and I want that to be seen. So, there we go. All right, that looks good. And just a little bit more here at the end. All right, there we go, let's see that. All right, now, like I said, I'm going to use my paper towel to get some of that residual eyeshadow off. And I'm gonna be using the same brush. For this top part, I'm gonna be adding in the Dusty Rose. Really pretty pink color. So I'm gonna come above it. Again, always start in the middle. There we go. Okay. Even though this color looks super pigmented in the tray, it does take a little bit more to get the vibrancy that I'm looking for. And that can happen sometimes. Colors will look much more pigmented in the tray than they are on your skin. And it also just depends on what type of skin you have, how well eyeshadow goes onto your lid. Sometimes you can have like little spots where the eyeshadow doesn't quite want to go on, even with the primer. That's okay if you have that, not to worry. So I'm just gonna go in and just go in with a little bit more of the buff, just to kind of blend these two colors so it doesn't look like buff, Dusty Rose. You want them to kind of blend. You want two distinct colors, but here in the middle, you kind of just want them to blend up really nicely. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, so super simple, right? Just two colors. Now I'm going to be taking your kind of typical eyeshadow brush. You probably have one or many of these, depending on how often you do your eyeshadow. And on the outside, I'm going to be using this El Fuego color, which I really, really love. It's this like really deep, rich, almost like a maroon. It's kind of a mix between a pink, a brown, a purple. I really like it a lot. And I go to about the middle of my lid with this. So from my first pass, I'm just kind of brushing the color on. And then I may go in after and kind of pat it on just to get a bit more pigmentation. And I go up into the crease just a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna go on just one last time and I'm gonna just kind of pat it on. There we go. All right, a nice outside color. You can do lighter colors on your lid. I like to do darker just because I feel like it adds a bit more depth. And my eyes, because they're kind of green and bluish, really they're hazel, so they kind of turn colors depending on the weather and things like that. Sometimes they're a bit more gray, sometimes they're a bit more green. And so I like putting these nice deep colors kind of right close to my eye because I feel like it really makes my eye color pop. And just gives it a bit of dimension, having this darker color on the outside. So anytime I do my eyeshadow, I always, if I'm gonna do 2 different colors on the lid, which you don't have to, you could do just one to have like more of a mono look and have one color over your entire lid. I like to do 2 different colors just because I feel like it gives it a bit more interest, a bit more depth. So if I'm gonna use 2 different colors, I always put the darker color on the outside. Just because if I put the darker color on the inside, sometimes it can look really heavy. It can actually weigh down my eye a bit. And so I put it on the outside just to give the corner edge here some nice depth. And honestly, I feel like it more kind of like opens up versus if I had that dark color on the inside, it would kind of close my eye in. Now, it also kind of just depends on your eye shape. So if your eyes are a bit more open, a bit more bright, you might be able to get away with having that darker color in the middle towards the crease here. So just kind of play around with it and see what you like and what works for you. The really great thing about makeup is that it's really your personal preference, and whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel really confident, go with that. So definitely test it out and kind of see what you like and what works for you. Now on the inside, I am going to use one of the like shimmery colors. I'm going to use this Dubai color right here. Now, I do think that this works for daytime or for work, or if you're kind of running errands out and about. Even though it does have a shimmer, it's darker. So unlike this like Nefertiti color up here, that's very shimmery, very obviously shimmery and glittery, which I feel like kind of screams more going out look. This Dubai color, because it's a bit darker, you are gonna hit that shimmer a bit, but it's not gonna be as obvious or as bright. So I think that's why it still kind of works, even if you're going into an office, or even if you're working from home, your Zoom calls. So I'm gonna put that Dubai on the inside of my lid here. Now, one thing you can do if you want your colors to be a bit more pigmented, and you're maybe struggling with a brush, or you can't find a brush, you can always use your ring finger and just pick up the color on your ring finger and then just dab it on. I do that sometimes with some of the colors. I find though that I'm not quite as precise when I use my fingers, but maybe you're really good with that. And so yeah, that's just another option. If you don't want a bunch of brushes lying around, you can always use your fingers. That's okay. All right, so I'm just adding in, and as you can see, I'm kind of meeting in the middle. Going up to the crease a little bit. Now I'm just kind of like dabbing it on. And I'm gonna blend it out a little bit in the middle so it's not like one color, 2 color. You want it, just like up here, you want it to be a bit blended where the 2 meet. All right, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to move on to a smudge brush. So this is really good for tight spaces. You're kind of wanting to smudge together, as the name implies. I like to use this brush for my corners, so the outer corner and the inner corner. This brush is really good for picking up just a little bit of color. Unlike this one where you can pick up a lot at once, this one is for just a little bit. And so for my outside corner, I'm gonna pick up this Noir color, and I'm gonna add just a little bit to the outside, just to add a little bit more depth to the outside here. Kind of let it come to this point. All right, there we go. Then I'm gonna clean it off, and then in the inner corner, I'm gonna use Gold Tail. And just very little. What I'm doing with this is I'm putting it on my inside corner just to brighten up the inside of my eye. You don't want a lot, you don't want it to be too much, just a little bit to get that brightness. There we go. All right. Now for underneath my eye, I do like to add a little bit color underneath. As you can see, I don't go super heavy with my eyeliner typically, and so adding a color underneath, if you don't want to wear eyeliner, adding that color will just give you a little extra pop, a little extra dimension. You don't necessarily have to use eyeliner if you're gonna do a color underneath. So for underneath, I'm gonna use Ashes. So this guy right here. And I'm back to my typical eyeshadow brush. I don't wanna pick up a lot because I don't wanna go too crazy underneath. So just along the lash line. And honestly, sometimes colors that I'm using up top will fall underneath at the front of the crease or the back. I don't clean that up. I actually think it's kind of cool to like blend it in. Sometimes you'll get a little extra shimmer, a little extra color. I think there's kind of a randomness to that, and I actually really like it. But if you don't want that, you can always use your Q-tip to clean that up a bit before you do your bottom color, so that it's exactly kind of what you want it to be. So there we go. That really wasn't that difficult. Wasn't that hard, didn't take that long. One thing I am going to do is I am gonna take my smudge brush and I'm gonna take a little bit of this magnolia color. I'm just gonna put a little bit under my eyebrow just to add a little bit of lightness, a little bit of brightness to the top here. Here we go. Awesome. All right, so on to our eyeliner. So what I like to do is I like to use two different colors. So I use the black for up top, and I get it just at the base of my lashes. My eyes do water a little bit when I do this. Funny enough on this eye, not so much on the other one. So if you want to do more of like, I would say a traditional look, you can put it up top. So like not on this area at the base of your lashes that's kind of basically touching your eye. You can do it right in here, right in here. And have that look. If you do that, your eyeliner is just going to be a bit more pronounced, and obviously you're putting the eyeliner on top of your eyeshadow. So you can absolutely do that if you want your eyeliner to really stand out and be more of a focal point. So if you're doing more of like a mono look, where you're only using one color, or maybe you're just doing a couple of colors, that's where maybe you can play with the eyeliner a little bit more and make it more of the focal point versus the eyeshadow being the focal point. But for this look, I want the eyeliner to be more of a supporting character to the eyeshadow. So we're just gonna do it at the base here. And you may not be someone who can get your eyeliner pencil that close to your eye. Some people just don't like it. And so if you can't get it like right up on your eye, that's okay. You can always put it a bit higher. All right, there we go. And then on the bottom, I'm gonna use the metallic green just to add a little bit more color. I really like the metallic green color. I think it goes really well with this eyeshadow palette. No matter what kind of look you're going for with the Glam Up palette, it will work. I don't think I would do a blue with this palette. Our iconic palette, absolutely. I could see doing a metallic or a dark blue eyeliner with that one because there are a couple more blues in that one. But the green works really well. See, you can just kind of see there's a little bit of color there. Just adds a little bit of extra depth. Now for like a going out look, I would do a silver on the bottom lash line versus the green with this eyeshadow palette. So if you wanted to do the silver, I think we have a metallic silver in the Express. It may be in the Extra Last, which the Extra Last is a pencil, but it's not a pencil that you need to sharpen. It's a bit softer, a bit creamier. Okay, so now, excuse my sniffles. Oh my gosh, I told you, allergies. Now I'm using the Limitless mascara. Helps add some volume. This is the brush. You can see it kind of dips in the middle to kind of help get a nice volume. Like I said, this is where I tend to need the Q-tips because my eyelashes like to do their own thing sometimes. There we go. You can probably see I have some like residual powder on my cheek here. So I'll just take a big powder brush and just wipe that away. Because I've already put on a setting powder on my makeup, it kind of helps protect my foundation and my blush and everything from all of that eyeshadow. So I definitely would recommend using either a finishing spray or a finishing powder on your makeup before you do your eyes. Now, in a future video, I am going to be doing eyelashes. I've never used false eyelashes before, but there's a first time for everything, so I'm gonna give it a try. Also, if your eyelashes are a bit shorter or they're not as full as you'd like for them to be, we do have a serum that helps your eyelashes grow nice and full and longer. There we go. So that is our look. Can I see? Awesome. So that's the first look using the Glam Up eyeshadow palette. It's got some really nice colors. I definitely feel like it makes the color of my eyes pop. And really, I think no matter what color eyes you have, these colors will really support it. Like I said, because they're more neutral, the browns and the pinks and kind of almost like this purpley color, I think it'll just go really well with anyone's skin tone and anyone's eyes. So I really, really like this look. I really like this eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be posting this. Like I said, I'm probably going to do another video that's more of like a night out look. If you have any questions, definitely comment and ask, or you can email me at Jamie, JAMI Lux, LUX Lifestyle at gmail.com. Check out, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, Jamie's Lux Lifestyle or Jamie's Lux Lifestyle Products. Look up either one. If you're interested in getting the Glam Up eyeshadow palette, you can visit Farmasi, FARMASIUS.com/Jamie Antonison, ANTONISON, and shop with me. I would love to have you as a customer, would love to connect with you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you. It really doesn't take that long to do this. So even if you're really busy in the morning, you can take just a few minutes and add a little bit of depth and dimension to your look. I mentioned in a previous video, some women are really focus on their lips. Like they really focus on lipsticks and lip glosses. And that is something that I'm trying to work on getting into. But where your foundation, your blush, your concealer, all of that is like your staple items in an outfit, your eyeshadow can really be your accessory piece. It's where you can really have some fun and show a little bit more of your personality, and just kind of add a little oomph to your look. So if you have any questions for me, or if you're looking at this eyeshadow palette and you like this look, but you want some other ideas on how to make it work with your skin tone or your eye color or anything like that, definitely reach out to me. I would be happy to help you. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day.